Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about brace roots in corn.
One of the interesting things about brace roots, when I was a young agronomist, I went to a greenhouse and I didn't see any brace roots on the corn. And I asked the question, well, wait, where are the brace roots? What kind of corn is this? I always see brace roots on our corn out in the field. And they said, oh, well, that's because you have stress. We've got no stress here in the greenhouse. There's no wind. There's nothing that's going to knock these corn stalks over. They don't need the brace roots. And I thought, that's interesting. And it made me look at things differently out on our farm. And if you've ever been to a cornfield, or whether it's sweet corn or field corn, you probably noticed some roots coming out, seemingly out the side of the stalk, to try to hold that plant upright, or at least that's one of the functions of them. And you didn't even think about it, that, well, wait a minute. Maybe these brace roots don't have to be here.
All right, so there are 4 main root systems in the corn plant. There's the radicle that comes out first, right out of the seed. Then there's the seminal roots, also called lateral roots sometimes. Then there's the main root system of the corn plant. It's called the nodal root system. There are 5 rings of nodal roots. They actually come out above the seed. It's a little bit weird with corn because you think, wait, I thought all roots came out below the seed. No, not with corn. The nodal roots emerge above the seed. Now granted, they go down beyond that, but the nodal roots are the main roots on the corn plant that will bring in water and nutrients. Then you get these brace roots. Like Darren said, they're only the result of stress, but the purpose of the brace roots is basically to stabilize that plant. And you could have 1 ring of brace roots, you could have 2, maybe even have 3. They're also kind of, I would say, weird a little bit because they don't necessarily come out on all 4 sides of that corn plant. If the plant is starting to lodge, well, you might only have brace roots coming out on the side that's falling down towards the ground. So anyway, I think brace roots are kind of interesting.
Well, they definitely are, and they don't come out until the 6th leaf on the corn plant. So up until that point, the growing point is below ground, but now the growing point's above ground, and the plant's getting a little bit bigger, and instead of just leaves that we're putting out, we're starting to make some nice hard stalk. And at that 6th node is where you'll first see brace roots. So if you're counting leaf stages on the corn plant, you know when you're at that 6th leaf, because you may see some brace roots if you have some stress.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. If you don't have stress right then, you might not see the brace roots actually emerge from that 6th node until your corn plant is a whole lot bigger. Oh, one other thing that I would say where I like to see brace roots is when we have a massive ear on that corn plant and the ear is so big that brace roots have to come out. That tells me we're going to have some pretty good yield.
Or the ears, Brian. Maybe that would be wonderful if we had multiple ears on the corn plant, which again, here we are in Farm Basics, that most corn plants only have 1 ear. So as Brian's saying this, he's wishful thinking that we'd have this massive ear or multiple ears on a corn plant.
All right, when you're out in the cornfield looking at things like brace roots, you might see our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?